What's going on, Dragon Ballers? I'm here with a little bit of a different type of player interview. I'm here with Brandon and Jovan, two players that both got top 16 at PPT Philly. I believe these guys are both really good friends with each other, from what I understand. So we decided we'd get on this call together and kind of just talk about the decks. So Brandon and Jovan, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and we'll get started.
All right. My name's Brandon. I was the Kid Coup player in top 16. This is my first Premier Top. I was 6-1 in Swiss. I was third overall. I got my butt kicked in top 16. And yeah, Javon is a really, really good friend of mine. And I'll let him go ahead now with his stuff now, too.
All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Javon. I was the player that was playing the lonely Yamcha. I made it to 5-1-1 in Swiss. I placed 7th in top 16, and then I lost round 1 to the champion Jordan Markle.
Yeah, not too much of a better way you can ask to get kicked out of top 16, right? So, question, I know you guys are obviously really close. Did you guys work on these decks together, or was it kind of like just you both brought your own decks? Like, how did that work out?
So at first, a lot of my friends were telling me to go with the yellow blue Kid Coup, like with Gogeta and stuff. And I really didn't like the blue as much as they badgered me. Javon kind of like just told me just like go with the flow, go with what I think is good. And I had won my prelims the week before with the build that I played for the event, and it performed really well. And honestly, we told Javon not to play Yamcha originally. We wanted him to play the Clash Coup leader. We thought Yamcha was silly, this, and then when we started testing and he started showing us up with it, we our minds kind of changed on it. We knew he knew what he was doing.
It was pretty good. We ended up we rode down together, and we stayed at Dylan Ashcraft's house, and we got to play test with all of Team Ellipsis. We got to just throw ideas around and play test against other decks, other leaders. So it was a pretty cool experience.
Nice. So we'll get into the deck list now. So we'll start with Yamcha because Yamcha is a very, very interesting pick. I think this might be Yamcha's like third top. And it's always cool to see because it's a really good leader in my opinion. And I think like one thing that Yamcha has over green leaders is like the counterplays. Like, is that all you got's really good? After Image is really good. Denala Hope is really good. But Jovan, how did you decide to play Yamcha?
So that was actually the main reason. When I saw. First, I want to give a shout out to the person who gave me the idea with this, like the skeleton of the Kaioken. His name is Kevin Souza. I met him at our local shop, and he was playing the Clash Coup leader, and he showed me how it ran. So I was like, you know what? I like this idea. Let me try to switch it up and do my own thing. So I liked Preemptive Strike, but I didn't like the fact that it didn't hit as much as Denial of Hope did. So I was like, what leader can give me the same resources as Clash Coup? Just, a little different. And then I had Yamcha just sitting in my binder, and I was like, you know what? This really isn't different. He's bursting, he's drawing, I'm untapping too. He has critical on the awaken side. He had a lot of utility, and I was able to use red extra cards, and I felt like that was a very needed meta call.
Yeah,
it's good against a lot of the top decks right now.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. So your negate lineup is 1 Final Guardian, 2 Is That All You Got, 3 After Image, and then 4 Denial of Hope. So overall, we have like 11 extra cards in the deck, it looks like. Did that ever feel like too much, or like did you feel like you needed it to cover the wide meta?
Nah, I felt like it was a good amount. Like the way I played the deck, I kind of wanted my first 3 to 4 turns to feel like you're going against Frieza Prison, where I'm just stopping you from playing cards. I'm killing anything small that's trying to attack. I'm just defending my life, trying to stay as high as I can, and then by turn 5 or 6, I'm trying to drop Kaioken and just win from right there. So gotcha. I felt like it was really good because I was really keeping my energy open for like my extra cards, for my Mach Speed, my Vegeta the Cruel, my Gogeta Resonant Explosion. I just wanted to play as much defense as I can to then aggro and try to win from there.
So Brandon, like testing against this Yamcha deck, how did it feel? Like, did it feel very defensive? Did it feel very aggressive? Did it feel like he could go back and forth? How did it feel?
So honestly, me and Javon, I think maybe played 1 or 2 matches against each other before the event, like in total playing against each other. We were more trying to test against like other types of the meta because me and Javon are very familiar with how each other play. Like I said, Javon, whenever me and Javon played, as you saw in my deck, I play pure yellow. So I just keep drawing till I see Mutaido, and Mutaido sits in my hand until Kaioken drops. and that's literally the whole game plan. Swarm as much as I can. When I would test against Javon, wait for him to drop Kaioken and then Mutaito it, and then proceed to try to win the game on the next turn. But Javon is so smart that he would take different routes sometimes, whether it be the secret rare, whether it be comboing like crazy and then summoning the resonant explosion and going other routes to beat Kidku. Because if he taps 5 against Kidku for Kaioken and he doesn't kill me that turn and I Mutaito it, it puts it in a really bad spot. But at
Yeah,
the same
that
time,
was real devastating.
yeah. So at the same time, his deck is so explosive. Like for the first 3 turns of the game, I can't summon a Kidku. I can't summon anything in my deck because this guy plays 4 Denial of Hope, 4 Vegeta the Cruel. It's it's literally prison for 3 turns until I can actually do something, until I'm able to extend my plays. But yeah, the deck, like I said, it's really really cool and it is explosive. But Mutaito is, I believe, a weakness to the deck just a little bit, because like Kaioken, you can still do Kaioken if it gets Mutaitoed, but like tapping the 5 energy against a deck where I play unlimited amount of 1-drops, it gets rough.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me to my next question. Jovan, what do you feel like are the bad matchups for this deck? And what do you feel like are the very good matchups for this deck?
So I'll start off with the bad matchups. So Toa definitely was a struggle for me. I really wasn't able to play test against it too much. Not too many people were playing it where we were like practicing. And I just feel like the Toa, the leader as herself, is just really strong against Kaioken because I can't really put on that pressure and have that single kill turn. I have to like slowly chip away. But when I'm trying to do that, they're slowly chipping away at my hand. So it's kind of tough to continue to play defense while also trying to aggro on one turn. So that was definitely something that it kind of opened my eyes, and I have to side a little bit differently for that. And another rough matchup is actually Kidku, because if I don't have the denial of hope within the first couple of turns and I allow him to generate board presence with like 3-drop 30Ks and Kidku and Aetorades, it's kind of rough because I'm losing my hand size trying to defend and combo if I don't see the negates or the denial of hopes. The Kidku matchup is actually what opened my eyes to play for denial of hope, so that way I can get to turn 7, play Kaioken for 5, and if they have the Mutaito or the Champa the Trickster, I can just denial of hope it, so that way I can still go in and not be derailed.
Also, a really good card Javon played at the time was it the Baba?
Yeah, she
The
was
Baba
clutch.
sets me back a little bit too, because if he summons that on turn 1, it kills my Kidku if I try to swing, or if I have the Krillin on the field the first turn or whatever. The Baba can be really detrimental to Kidku and other matchups where they summon small stuff first turn.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like it's an M2 on legs. You only get like one use out of it, but it also draws you a card, which is really nice. So for the rest of this Yamcha deck, I'm kind of interested in the side deck. So I see you do have the Chain Zeno package. So what did you feel like you really needed to bring that in against?
So I needed that. I thought it was going to be good against Toa because, like I said, they try to chip away at your hand size, and you definitely want to try to recoup from that. I don't play too many cards in deck that just draw me cards, minus Kaioken, but he rips for my life, so it's kind of just rough. And really against like U7 Frieza with Victory Strike, if I would have saw that, I would have decided in Chain Zeno, so that way I can reduce their hand size, get them to waste their searches, and then kind of make it a little bit rougher for them, so that way they can't just kill me on turn 5.
Gotcha.
Another thing Javon was doing a lot when we would test sometimes. Javon would side out his Kaioken sometimes against me and side in the Chain Zeno package. That way my Mutaitos are kind of dead. And like I'm not expecting him to do that, you know what I mean? And there's been plenty of times where I had 12 to 13 cards in my hand by turn 4. He Chain Zenos me, and Javon's blown me out just from that. Just from getting, I have 4 1-drops on the field of 30K, on a book in my hand, and he sends everything back and then just starts picking me off. And if I don't get a 4-star ball off of the Zeno, then I'm just beat. But fortunately, every time Javon's done that, I've always drawn my 4-star, so I got lucky.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot about the build that my teammate Pat played at Philly. He played the Clash Code deck, but like with this type of similar main deck, but he actually main deck Chain Zeno. So you just have like with red and green, you have so many different avenues of like just trying to win. Whether it's like red good stuff or Chain Zeno or like Kaioken, you have a lot of solid options. So I want to
So,
bounce over to Brandon's deck. And
so
oh.
actually, not to cut you off, but we roomed with Pat for the event.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no. Pat was telling me
Yeah.
you guys are both some of his locals, right?
Yeah. We all go to
Sure.
locals together. We all test and everything. I had to play against Pat in Swiss actually.
Oh yeah. How did that go?
Yeah. He took me down game 1. I beat him game 2, and then game 3 he did a very he misplayed. Not a misplay. He comboed a card that he shouldn't have comboed, which then cost him the game.
Yeah, that happens. That's
And
that's a very
yeah.
minute decision that really can sometimes cost you the game.
Oh yeah, I'll get into that later.
All right, cool. So we'll go
Yeah.
over Brandon's Skilless list. So I love Skilless. I've played it for a million years, but this is a very, very interesting list. I got a lot of questions. So looks like your ball lineup was 9 balls. Did you ever want to play like a searcher like Sorbet or Dende to up the yellow count, or it never came up?
So I thought about playing Sorbet at first, and I had a big issue. So, like Javon said, there wasn't a lot of Toa players around like our locals and stuff. Our locals gets about 15 to 20 people, but we don't have people that, like I said, like playing Toa and stuff. But we would have players playing like Goku Zamasu, playing Prison. I'm sorry, and that's where I put in the sources of power, because originally I wasn't playing Source of Power Son Goku, and I didn't really like the card at first, and then I weighed into like I'm trying to think how to put it. Self awakening. If I don't see that Krillin and I can't get the 6th life with that vanilla, if I can't get the 6th life with a vanilla in the grave, and I don't have any other way to awaken, I need another source to do it. I can still, without seeing a ball in my hand, like if I summon an Aider first, and I can thin my deck by adding a card, or if I see the Trunks, I can get a vanilla out early. Just thinning my deck and just praying that I see a 4-star early. Like that was a big thing.
Gotcha. And then I do have a question about Aider. So this card really shined, in my opinion, against like Height of Mastery decks because they didn't really have like the best ways to answer it. But it seems like Height of Mastery is kind of falling off the popularity train. So where did Android 8 like kind of shine for you?
Well, honestly, at first, I had seen a list online of someone that wasn't playing Aider, and I was like, I don't know, maybe. And that was a Gogeta list, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll try it. I tried it out. I didn't like it too much. I was actually at the Atlantic City event, the Invitational, and I was playing Victory Strike at the time, and I went against a Kid Ku deck round 1. The guy had an Aider on the field. He had a Son Goku on the field, and I had dropped height. I had tapped everything, and I was going for game. And that's where the Zarbon card on my list came up.
Yep.
The guy played the Zarbon card on me. He restood his Son Goku, comboed it, I destroyed my Victory Strike, and I lost. And I was like, this is just too good to have this Aider on the field and to have Son Goku on the field. And at our locals, there was a lot of green Broly going around, and Aider really does shine against that, because during combo, when I combo my Son Goku and I kill what they have, if they don't have the next 6, the next 8, or the secret, it's really, really difficult. And my first 2 rounds, I went against green Broly back to back, and it was really, really great. There was a lot of times where the 6 didn't go into the 8 because they didn't have it, because I was able to combo so early and kill that stuff. And even against what else did I go against? What was it? Even against when I played against Pat, like Aider shined really well, killing Vegeta the Cruels and getting rid of all the beat sticks on the field, which made it really easy for me to be aggressive and take games over.
Yeah, it seems good against Kaioken as well too. Just like they can't really deal with blockers too well. So Android 8's kind of like in that same spot where like it's just gonna sit on the board. They can't deal with it super well. I'm also really interested in your negate lineup. So 2 Power Bursts and 4 Nimbus. 4 Nimbus seems like a lot to me, but what was like your logic behind this?
So U6 is a little rough. They can summon a lot more guys a lot quicker than I can, and in testing, that's just the case that it was. I was getting aggroed so much by U6 stuff that it annoyed me to the point where I was like, listen, I've always you can ask Javon, I've always played a lot of negates in any deck I've ever played. I try to conserve my turn as much as possible, get it over with, and then just try to kill you on the next turn. So Nimbus, I was gonna do an extra power burst, but there was a lot of times where I just felt like that people would be attacking with their leader first and misplaying, which really does help me a lot. If you swing with a leader first, I Nimbus, and then you only have one more attack. Like even against the Green Broly matchup, a lot of times, a lot of players that I played against would swing with their leader first so they can get their hand up and then do what they got to do. And Nimbus was just a really, really good card. I've always loved Nimbus.
Gotcha. And then one question I have about the sideboard. So Demigross Secret Rare, did that ever really come up for you? Because I sided the Secret Rare as well in the AC Invitational. Never really felt like I needed it, so I cut it. So how'd you feel about the Secret Rare in the side deck?
So I actually did see the list where you cited it, and I highly agreed with it. I didn't think there's been plenty of times where I've tapped myself out at 5 energy when Kiku should usually win by 5 energy, but I've tapped myself out at 5, and either it gets negated, and then the player gets an extra turn somehow, and then I lose in a very weird way. But so I sided it honestly only for Frieza Prison because that was the only matchup I knew where I was gonna get to that much energy to be able to drop it.
That's actually a really really good tech. So we've pretty much gone over both of the deck lists. I want to jump back to the Yamcha list real quick, and I want to give Jovan a chance to say any like last notes about the deck, anything you think about it going forward, any changes you think you might make.
Okay, so well, before I do that, I forgot to talk about the good matchups where I kind of feel like it's just like an auto win. So U6, I had a lot of playtesting with that. I originally was playing King Vegeta, and I felt like having the slow start of getting the 3 energy and playing the field spell was just rough to kind of awaken and like get things started because U6 can just aggro you down. So I wanted to go with red, and I played all these negates. So if U6 ever tried to create board presence, I have is that all you've gotten after him is to kill anything small, even Baba, because when I combo with her from the battle area, I can minus one of my opponent's battle cards by 5k. So that came out a lot too. So they could never like evolve their Khalifa. So they would just lose out a hand advantage because they're trying to evolve on targets, and I'm getting rid of them.
Yeah, definitely. That's red has a great U6 matchup for all the minusing abilities. So anything you think you would like maybe change going forward, or any comments about the deck you want to make?
So I definitely wanna, as much as I love the secret rare I was playing, it won me 2 games. I actually want to switch to the green Broly secret rare
Mm-hmm.
and potentially try to find room for the 1-drop Paragus where you can send a green battle card to the drop and draw a card. So there are a lot of times where I have Kaioken and I just see that my opponent has a little like one too many negates, so I can't finish on that turn. It's great to just take myself down to 1 life, pressure with Kaioken, awaken with my leader, pay the 1 energy for the Paragus, sack the Kaioken, draw a card, and then drop Broly. Even though I'm losing my hand, that's now 2 more attacks, I get to have. And because I'm at 1 life, whenever he swings, my opponent's losing their hand. So it's like an extra little finisher whenever Kaioken can't get the job done. And I just feel like that was kind of needed in my Janemba matchup in the final round of Swiss. And I think that might be good for Toa, because if I'm getting rid of their hand, she can't use her leader ability to take away double strike or dual attack.
Definitely makes sense. Yeah, that's something I've been seeing more and more people talk about is like the Broly secret rare with Kaioken. That makes a lot of sense. So Brandon, I want to give you a chance to do the same thing. Any final thoughts about your deck? Anything you would maybe change going forward? Anything you want to say about it?
So I think Source of Power I might be sending to the sideboard. It didn't do much. It really helps against Frieza Prison, but Javon and Pat and Matt Coombs, who we were all like testing him with, they showed me the Champ of the Trickster card, the one the set 7 counter.
Yep.
The card's really good. It's a Mutaito on a stick. So I might consider putting that card in for Source and siding Source. And I think everything else is gonna stay the same for now. I was running the sparking super combos at first, but I realized how strong the overwhelm cards are and how much I need them compared to the sparking stuff. And they all really just perform well. The deck was really, really good. I day one I only dropped 3 games the whole day. I got 2-0'd by Jordan Markle and Toa, and I dropped 1 game to Pat, and every other match was a blowout for the rest of the day.
Awesome.
And it was just, yeah, everything else was, it went really well together.
Awesome. All right. So closing statements, Brandon, we'll start with you. Anything you want to say about the event, and any shout outs you want to give?
The event was good overall. It was really cool. Every single person that I met was very, very sociable. I was able to talk to everyone. Everyone, like I said, it was a very good experience. PPG ran a good event. And that's about it. A shout out to everybody from my hometown: Kevin, Josh, Frankie, Will, Alex, Javon, Pat, Matt, Ellipsis, Team Ellipsis, all them for letting us go there. Sandy, everybody that helped us test and helped us prepare for this weekend. Everything, wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
Awesome. Jovan, same to you. Anything you want to say about the event? Any final shout outs you want to give?
So I definitely had a blast in the event. It was run really well. I really enjoyed the whole experience. I like that I got to play one of my favorite characters from the Dragon Ball series. I want to give a shout out to PPG for giving me my own exclusive deck list and interview. That was pretty cool. Definitely, I want to give a shout out to Dylan Ashcraft, Team Ellipsis, Team 3XG, all the guys that were, staying at the apartment. We were all pay testing, we were all discussing. I feel like that kind of just made me a little bit of a better player with my thought process. But other than that, it was just a really good experience. I loved it all, and I cannot wait to go to the next event.
Awesome, man. Thank you guys both so much for joining me, and we will see you guys next time.
No problem.
Alrighty.
Appreciate it.